Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Well, I suppose the series itself is Doomlink's Random Hunts. No, it's not. It's Doomlink's Live Hunts. I don't know why I defaulted to the incorrect title. I may as well mention this. I am actually considering not a reboot, but I suppose what you'd call a revival of the Doomlink's Random Hunt series. For those of you who don't remember it, it was the precursor to this series that you're seeing now. This is intended to be a live version of my old Random Hunt series. Random Hunts was not recorded live. It was essentially me doing what I'm doing now, but it wouldn't be as long. It would be usually, I'd say 2 hunts in one recording, more often than not. Oh shit, I forgot to stock up on hot drinks. This is the second attempt at this quest, I should mention. We had an attempt before. All of the same hunters minus Asgalor were hunting this same monster. I don't know why I'm going in this direction. Beats me. But we had a 4th person who was unknown to us. What, in typical monster hunting circles, would be referred to as a random. Oh, fucking hell. He's going all the way over there. And I don't have any psychoserums on me. Did I restock on Farcasters? Yes. Okay, what, is he here? What kind of strange landing position is that? Why in that corner, specifically? Anyway, yeah, and that guy died 3 times within about 5 minutes. You can see that this Kushala is missing his tail. In fact, I didn't fucking carve that tail. Quite ironically, I said, oh, I'd better carve that tail, otherwise I'm going to forget about it. Well, in actual fact, we failed the quest before I could carve it, so that was pretty bad. But back to Random Hunts. I was considering a revival of that, because as most of you will probably be aware, I almost never record Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for this series, Doomlink's Live Hunts, and the reason why is because it is genuinely difficult to record live. And I'd also probably include games like Freedom 1 and play those in Random Hunts, because yeah, it's also hard to play those live. Because there's a setup process associated with live recordings that is not present for non-live recordings where I'm not on camera, but I would actually say that if I were to do it non-live, I would prefer to be on camera. Traditionally, Doomlink's Random Hunts was not on camera because I had no reason to be on camera if it were not live. It was just it was a more old-school format, I guess is what I would, or how I would describe it. Okay, we've had a death pretty much in the same length of time as the last guy, so that does not bode well for success, in my opinion, but we'll see how things go. Let's not dismiss the circumstances out of hand. Maybe things will work out just fine. They really should. This thing's weak, so hopefully only 5 minutes of the beatdown. But yeah, because I can't really record Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate in this series properly, I've made attempts to do so, but it's really quite difficult. What I've instead decided to do is record some 4 Ultimate in the Random Hunt series. The question, however, is whether or not I can find the time to do that. So, and I will obviously try to be on camera. It should look the same as the Live Hunt series, it's just not going to be live, and it will actually be edited, I would say. So, that means that you may get to see some 4 Ultimate soon. I would have hoped to have started doing 4 Ultimate a long time ago, consistently, but there are 2 reasons why that is a struggle. The first, of course, is issues with emulation. If I'm having issues with emulation and it's live, that's it, you know, I can't really just make an edit. I can't only have the hunts that go smoothly be in the finished product. You're going to get everything in between because, you know, a live stream can't really be edited. It can sort of be edited, but there's another reason as well behind me not wanting to do it live, and that is the poor community engagement. There are just not many people to hunt with. Maybe that's because of my time zone, maybe most of the people who are playing are just not playing when I am, but it makes it harder to record live under those circumstances as well. So, yeah, the stars essentially have to align perfectly if I can record it live, and it's only happened maybe 3 times ever. And I'm not going to say that those occasions when I did record it live went perfectly smoothly either. So, there you go. Eventually I'll probably get a new PC and it'll be easier to record that, but my PC, despite being a top-of-the-line PC of 2017, can't run a fucking 3DS game emulated because the emulator is extremely... Well, I don't know if I should blame the emulator or the game itself. It's probably a mixture of both, but, you know, it's extremely inefficient. It doesn't work very well with your system, in other words. It really shouldn't be so taxing on the specs of my system, but it is, and... yeah. Hopefully in time to come I will be able to record it live. But for now, I may just keep it to... Can we not fucking hit me out of carving, please? But yeah, I'm considering doing it non-live. It would affect those of you who only watch me when I'm live, but it is probably going to be the same experience for those of you who watch VODs anyway. And some of you are just VOD viewers. Some of you, not even by choice, but just because you can't really catch me when I'm live, which is understandable. My time zone is a strange one. In fact, a lot of people have gone to sleep by now and are unable to join me at this moment in time. Which is just bad luck, really. And that's Kushala Daura killed. I wish I could have shown you the full health Kushala being killed, but hey, big Elder Dragon Jewel on camera, that's what I like to fucking see. Maybe it's the game showing pity and just giving me a big Elder Dragon Jewel because I missed the tail before. Because that's why I really wanted to carve it. Any chance to get a big Elder Dragon Jewel is an opportunity that should be taken, but didn't even get that, so I got a nice big Elder Dragon Jewel right then and there. Alright, let me stock up on hot drinks while I'm looking, or while I've noticed that I'm currently empty. No longer currently. I've already ameliorated that problem. Alright. Let's re-roll. Random hunt. We will do a weapon selection. I've decided that we will. Let's not have it in all caps. Arcs. What did I used to call ice cream? Bukake, was it? I think I called him Bukake. And Mina. I don't have to include myself because it will automatically give a weapon selection for this part of the command, and then when I add additional names, it will give those a weapon as well. So, here I am. I've been given bow for White Fatalis. Why? I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. I'm asking, not because I don't necessarily want to do it, I'm just asking in case either Ice Cream or Mina don't want to do it. Because it is a time investment. I'm willing to do it. I vote for pass, says Ice Cream. Look, in my opinion, if there's anyone who doesn't want to do it, it's better not to. I mean, why inflict this on someone who doesn't want to do it? It's different from just something you may not like as a monster, but you're willing to do it. I mean, it's a boring fucking fight. It's long and it's boring. So, yeah. Hopefully Arx doesn't go and get prepared completely and then find out that we're not doing it. That would be regrettable, but again, in my opinion, if Ice Cream doesn't want to do it, and I'm pretty easy one way or the other, it's better to just not do it. I make these exceptions for what I consider to be the siege monsters. I actually consider Fatalis to be more of a siege monster, something that really ideally needs to be done with multiple people, and that takes a really long time. Then again, if Arx... Okay, he has not protested. Reroll is a command, apparently. Random hunt. It's electric? God. Well, we just avoided having to eat shit, so now we're going to have to settle for drinking piss. We've gone from White Fatalis to Kirin. Ugh. What have I been given to use? Who am I? D. Gunlance. Fucking Gunlance. On a Kirin. I can't wait. I'm absolutely beside myself with anticipation. What should I use? Should I use popcorn or should I actually use a real gun lance? You know, one that's actually effective as a lance as well. What's the primary weakness of Kirin? Is it fire or is it something else? Let's just check. I want to make sure. I don't want to make a mistake with that. I'm assuming that it's fire. Where's Kirin? Here we go. It actually appears to be dragon, which I'm content with. Let's bring the black smoke gun lance. I can't believe I've been given gun lance. I'm happy to go with whatever is chosen. I will do what most of you wouldn't even dream of doing, and use a low mobility weapon with one of the highest mobility monsters in the game. In fact, probably the most mobile monster in the game. And I can show you precisely what hell is like in Monster Hunter. Truly unpleasant. I just don't know who would willingly do this. Some people actually do these things willingly. And they're like, oh, this is great. Bit of fun. Spent the afternoon soloing a Kirin with a gun lance. I mean, I'd rather... Well, there are a lot of things I'd rather do, and I'd actually rather not list them because they are deeply unpleasant. But, you know, fuck that. How did I get on the subject of people soloing it? Well, when I imagined in my head that no one would actually want to do this, I realized that there are people who, as a hobby, actually like to play with really uncomfortable loadouts against monsters that they are ill-suited to. Because, I don't know, fun or something. I think Kirin is in this list. Where are you? Well, you're not in this list today, so let's have another look. Oh, for fuck's sake. So there's... Oh, we were given it's electric anyway, so I'm fine with that. I think there is an arena Kirin as well. Well, I say arena. It is something of an arena. It's the tower arena. So that does exist as well. I would actually prefer that. Arx is using the Great Chris, which is, I think in this game, the highest raw sword and shield. Or at least the ideal one to go for. I still haven't made it. I've been intending to make it for some time. Just never got around to it. It's electric. I'm going to get out of the cold area. I'm not going to expend a hot drink unnecessarily. And I think the next area to the east is going to have Kirin. I will actually reload over here. Arx is hosting. I think that's fine. Let's find out if I'm bouncing. I'm not, at this stage, bouncing. I'm probably going to stay unsheathed. I don't see a reason to sheathe. I'm starting to see a reason to sheathe. It depends if Kirin just honestly stays out of my range the entire time. If he stays out of my range the entire time, I can't stay unsheathed. There's just no good reason to do that. This is going to be fun. Of course, one of the good things about Kirin, and it's a good way to balance the monster. Difficult to hit repeatedly and consistently, but does have low health. I do have an issue though, and that's that I have, what is that? -3 thunder resistance, which is less than ideal for a thunder monster. Of course, what you hope for is that everyone can just get in there together. And, oh, fucking hell. Get in there together and just beat on the monster and get it to fall backwards. Because then, it will be open to even more of a beating. It's a cute idea, isn't it, that to get close to the monster is to invite risk. But if you're using Blade Master, that really is your only option. Suppose you can be more picky about your timing, which of course has the disadvantage of being poor for DPS, but sometimes poor for DPS can be a worthy sacrifice if you're constantly taking damage in pursuit of DPS, to the detriment of your healing wares. And quite frankly, if you're getting hit and then having to heal, that's bad for DPS as well, so it probably balances itself out. My accuracy is abominable. Just thought I'd comment on my... Oh, for God's sake, what's going on? Did you actually go naked? Why? Why do you've thrown the quest. Departing naked. What's the point? You've just died twice. Why? Ugh. I say he's thrown the quest because, I mean... What's the point of... like, what's he gonna do? Engage it a third time? And then... die a third time? Because we can succeed, it's not that hard. But it is if he dies 3 times in less than 5 minutes. And in the event that he decides not to actually pursue the monster, or continue trying to hit the monster now that he's died twice, what was the point of departing naked? He's now debarred himself. And that's not really helpful for anyone. It's not great for us. And it sucks for him. Oh well. I guess he's just trying to follow the... what the bot has decided for him. I, quite frankly, don't see a point. The fact that it defaultly makes selections like be naked, and sell your rewards, and use this random DLC weapon. I think that's ridiculous. But that's just me. Why did I do that? Just because he got close to me, I decided to do that? Well, I took a hit stupidly, didn't I? I need to be a little bit more tactical with my play. Hello, Andro Totem. Yes, Andro Totems is your name. I thought I misread that. There's a shield, and then... oh, for fuck's sake. You know when they say lightning never strikes in the same place twice? Well, I'd beg to differ on that one. Because I actually shielded that lightning and was about to lower my shield to go in for the attack, and then my shielding was triggered a second time by lightning striking the same place twice. Ridiculous. Oh, and then it hits me from behind. This monster can eat a dick. Of course, some people have developed a thick skin for Kirin and they're not bothered anymore, but no, I will always be bothered by this monster. I just... you know what it is, actually. If you don't have control over what you're going to depart on the quest with, I totally missed that. If you don't have control over what you're going to depart on the quest with in terms of weaponry or loadout selection, such is the case with this quest, it increases the chance of you having a pretty nasty matchup with the monster. And that's what's going on now. What sucks is that I'm really not able to get more than the opening thrust of the gun lance out every time I'm within range of the monster, I think. Let me try to do a wyvern fire at a time that I think I can get away with it, because I haven't really been going for it. I'd actually rather never use it than to attempt to use it and miss, for some reason. This might be my chance. Actually, it's not. It is now. Oh, it would have been! Fuck! And, you know what? I give up. It would have been my fucking chance. That wasn't even aimed at me. I walked into it. Great. That's one way to fuck it up, isn't it? We almost failed, actually, because of that shit. This is just miserable. I actually would have... You know what? I would have rathered the White Fatalis, because at least I got a bow for that quest. That's an appropriate weapon type for White Fatalis. I'm just gonna pray that he's not aiming for me. Well, that was good. I'm glad he wasn't aiming for me, otherwise that would have been bad news. It would have been a nasty result. Yeah. It's one of those situations where if I get in range, I'm probably more likely to end up on my hands and knees courtesy of my teammates than actually getting a combo out. Alright. Anytime you want to give me an opportunity, Kirin, honestly. Anytime at all. You know, even when I walk in there like that, it's a risk, because there's no guarantee that lightning's not going to strike me. Why did I do that? That was good timing on the life powder there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in and deal damage. Quick, trap it. Andrew, the thing with Gunlance is that it has its place. There are some quests where it's appropriate for it to be used. This is not one of those quests. I'm sure some people have worked out how to be effective against a Kirin with a gun lance, but you can't deny that it's a bad matchup. You know, something that's designed to be so immobile, going up against a monster that prances across the map in... oh my god. Prances across the map in seconds. I mean, it's quite clear that it's not good. Now, why Madolce, aka Ice Cream, decided to engage the monster and just cause us to fail anyway is a mystery to me. I don't know. I don't have an explanation nor a justification for that, because in my opinion, even if we had succeeded, my conclusion that I would draw from that experience would be that we had wasted our time. But we hadn't even managed to do that. We have actually just failed and achieved precisely nothing. So, fun. It is what it is. So, I don't mind. I mean, you can be naked if you want, but if you die twice in 3 minutes, you've sort of lost the right to rejoin the quest, in my opinion. But anyway, let me re-roll, I suppose. By rejoin the quest, I mean, you know, re-engage the monster. Mina is done after, what was that, 1 hunt? Is that a protest, or do you actually have something else to do? Maybe he just says, I'm done, as in, I'm pissed off. Would rather have fun than be playing by the rules. What do you mean? Do you mean that he wishes that he hadn't obeyed the bot? In that it told me to be naked as well, you know. It actually wanted both of us to be fucking naked for that quest. Anyway, that was awful, but predictable. Hold on. Bukake. Oh, well, let's call him ice cream. Cream. Arcs. Mina. Is Mina actually done? I don't. Oh, yeah. You are on cooldown. Fuck you. What if I had been the one that... Oh, it must be Fatalis, but that still makes no sense. You can have a weak Fatalis and kill it in 10 minutes, so why should there be a 20-minute cooldown on a Fatalis? Whoever devised these cooldowns should be dragged out onto the street by their ankles with their face in the dirt and essentially be forced to be beaten by a crowd of angry people. Just beaten. It's like, what the fuck? And the fact that it is so staunchly defended. Unbelievable. Okay. So, okay, Mina is done. Alright. After 1 hunt. So, I will interpret that to be a protest. Is Arx also... Okay, Arx is also done after that. Fuck's sake. It was not a nice hunt, actually, Mina. Which is, by the way, what he said in the Twitch chat. He's playing 3 Ultimate. He's not playing my 3 Ultimate, he's playing Citra 3 Ultimate, just to clarify. Well, this has so far been a pretty lackluster recording. You guys haven't seen the failed Kushala portion. I intended to cut that out. We, of course, had a successful hunt with Kushala, because he was weak, and if we had failed under those circumstances, it would have been supremely embarrassing. But now we've had a failure with Kirin, so that at the moment is 2 failures and 1 success for me, not necessarily for you, but it's starting to wear on me. I will continue. I'm happy to keep hunting with Ice Cream and hope, in other words, Madolce, and hope that maybe we can get a few more people to play with. I would like that. I'm going to advertise more spaces in the room. What an excellent suggestion. Duo Yamatsukami with Sword and Shield. Now that would be a challenge. I would consider that to be a challenge run, no matter what Sword and Shields we were forced to use. I'm actually tempted to do that. It would be funny. May seems to think that that would be fun. I don't really agree, but... I mean, we could give it a try. I'm actually tempted to do that. I don't know if he's got the Fatalis Sword and Shield. It would depend on what Sword and Shield he would use for the quest. Why is... What the fuck? I do at Ice Cream, and there's nothing. Can I only at a person's username? I can't at their nickname? Is that what's going on, Discord? Is that what you've actually decided to do? Because that is terrible. Hold on, Quen. Okay, no, I can... No, but that's included in his username, so hold on. What? If I... Okay, so Arx's nickname is Anjing Kontol. Okay? And I know roughly what that means, so feel free to laugh. At Anjing... Oh no, so it does allow me to ping based on nickname. So why is it that I type ice cream, like with a space, ice cream, like as soon as there's a space, nah, Discord refuses. What is that? That's another group of people that need to be dragged out onto the street by their ankles with their face in the dirt and, you know, handed over to an angry crowd to be beaten within an inch of their lives. The people who develop for Discord, bastards. I blame them. Alright, so let me ask him the question that I intended to ask him. My willingness to do it will depend on your sword and shield. I'll bring Fatalis sword and shield. I typed duo instead of duo. Yeah. Yeah, I'll use Gendrome's sword and shield. That's an excellent idea. No, I actually think I should use the Hypno Sword and Shield. And Sleep Bomb. He's bringing the Great Chris. Well, that's perfectly reasonable as well. In fact, you never know, it may actually be a better choice than the Fatalis Sword and Shield. But I don't have the Great Chris, so I'm going to bring the Fatalis Sword and Shield. My loadout will be quite obviously this one. I have no need to resist roars. It does default to this one. I'm using the Crimson Fatalis Sword and Shield in this game. Which actually is... See, in a previous version of this save I was using the Black Fatalis Sword and Shield, but I ended up making Crimson because that's what I could make in terms of materials first. Because honestly, they're so similar to each other that it's almost negligible. Almost negligible. I'm sure that there is a mathematical difference in terms of effectiveness, but I don't give a shit, okay? There's not enough in it for it to actually mean anything to me. So therefore, I'm happy with either one. But I did quite comfortably go with Crimson Fatalis in Monster Hunter Freedom 1 over the Black Fatalis Sword and Shield. Now, I don't know if that's because of notably different stats between those two weapons in that game as compared to Freedom Unite, or if it was just a difference of mood at the time that I was forging those weapons back then, as compared to when I was forging them in Freedom Unite. Alright, Yamatsukami with... I don't have enough money to accept the quest. This is a brilliant moment. I don't think I ate anyway. I did eat. That's why I'm poor. Must have been an expensive meal. Let's find something to sell. I'm too poor to eat. I'm actually looking for a good source of money. Something that I can sell a lot of and not worry about money for a while. If I don't have anything Akantor related, I don't think. Yeah, I don't. I swear I just saw something that started with a lowercase letter, but maybe I didn't. Let me... Okay, Lao Shanlong, happy to do that. No, don't take it. I want to sell it. Laoshan's heavy shell. I'll just sell 6 of those, that'll do for now. It's Yamatsukami time. I mean, after the hunts that I've had so far, may as well, right? Where's the harm? I will bring life powders. I'd say that's the appropriate thing to do. It's the humane thing to do. Let's do this thing. Look, I don't think I've ever used a sword and shield on this monster. I really mean that, because I've never even been slightly tempted to do it before. I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't mind. It's because as long as I keep the weapon unsheathed and use the X plus A combo, there is no risk of me falling off the edge, I don't think. It shouldn't allow me to fall off the edge under those circumstances, right? If it does actually cause me to fall off the edge, that's going to be pretty bad. But it should only be when I have my weapon unsheathed, or if I walk off. If I have performed an attack, and I advance to that edge, I shouldn't fall off, right? If in fact, I can do this, if I could do this and fall off, that's going to be really bad, but that doesn't make sense. That shouldn't happen. I don't think that's going to happen. The invisible wall will come into effect. I could be unsheathed and walk off like that, I think, but if it's an attack that's pushing me forward, I don't think so. Actually, that's really bad, because imagine if I'm doing this, and I'm right up against the wall. What if... See that motion where I have to sort of walk around in a circle? What if that causes me to fall off? We're about to find out. We are going to discover, together, how it feels to use a sword and shield against Yamatsukami. It's all in the theoretical sphere at the moment. So... Let's add some real world into this. Let's take it out for a test drive. Ice Cream is hosting. I hope that's a good thing. I don't remember if it's a good thing or not for me. Usually that depends on where that person is in relation to me, but actually I've got no idea where Ice Cream is located. I'm actually going to test it out right now. Okay, and can I turn around? Yes, I can. So we should be alright. I'm not saying that we won't fall off at any point. We're getting a lot of... well, I was getting a lot of dragon effects there visually. But I think most of that was actually making contact with Ice Cream. Now, can I walk off as well? I actually can walk and not fall off, so we're all sweet. We don't need to worry. There's no risk of me falling off. At least for as long as I remain unsheathed. Maybe I can roll off. This is definitely a challenge run. I have no reservations about referring to this as a challenge run. Some may say, oh, use weaker sword and shield. I don't care. Anyone who thinks that we should use weaker sword and shields are sadistic and sick. I think this is going to work out fairly well. The worst case scenario is what I was envisioning, where I'd be able to walk off with my sword and shield unsheathed. I was even concerned that perhaps doing the X plus A maneuver would cause me to fall off the edge. None of that's happening. You can see it's still fucking miserable, I mean that's quite obvious, but as you can probably appreciate, it could be worse. Is he doing the thing? He's not doing the thing, because his eyes returned to whatever their default color is. Yellow, buff, whatever you want to call it. Cream color. In the old days, we used to call it skin color. Remember that? Yeah, skin color. There may be a risk. Yeah, I knew it. Do I have tranq bombs on me? I do. You have consigned us to hell. We're not going to be able to hit him for ages now. Why were you tempted to do it? I realized before I threw my tranks that was a terrible idea. I realized we're not going to be able to hit him for ages now because you see, let me put it in terms that those who are unfamiliar with Yamatsukami can understand. Once he has ended up lying on the ground here for a while, he is going to spend between 2 and 3 minutes in this position, where, as far as I'm concerned, we are going to have great difficulties making contact with our weapons. I mean, more so than before. I mean, what has he done to us? I'm actually tempted to not even engage. I'm tempted to just wait up the top. Because now we have to hit the tips of the tentacles, which are constantly moving around. I mean, he seems to be content with it. I'm not. Well, I say he's content with it, but we're about to get a slam down attack. Aren't we? No, we're not. I can't believe this is happening. I mean, this is already going to be a slow hunt. He's just made it an even slower one, I think. You never know, if he does a few of these attacks, it may counterbalance the low DPS of having to aim for those tentacles just at the tips. Or, to rephrase, the tips of the tentacles. There you go. I don't know if there's even a risk of being slapped from up there, but... or from down here when he's up there. If I see dragon effects on my screen, it's good news. It means I'm actually making contact, so... well, that doesn't count if I'm making contact instead with great thunderbugs. Oh, brilliant. It was probably closer to 2 minutes than 3, so that wasn't too bad in the end. Still, I'm not too sure if I'm happy with that strategy. I think I'd rather not. I think I'd rather not. So, that is one important point to mention, and that is that the sucking attack of Yamatsukami is unrelated to whether he is enraged or not. And that was something that I used to think, just purely as a logical assumption. Because, you know, my question was, what ways can you, or how could you go about anticipating it? And to me it made sense that perhaps it would be something he would only do when enraged, but it's not true. You can see when he's enraged and when he's not by looking at his eyes. They are no longer red, they were before. But when they are red, he is enraged, and I've seen him do that sucking maneuver in this hunt without having red eyes. So that is illuminating, to say the least. I'm sure I would have discovered that many times, but just forgotten every single time. So I'm relearning it again, and hopefully this time it will stick. Feel free to quiz me on it in 6 months. Alright. I just need to be ready to move in case he does the thing. I don't think he's doing it. Very good. So you don't want to squander the opportunity either by just standing there being afraid to attack. Now, I reckon that's going to be the suck. It is, but it's not going... it's going in my favor. Oh, can I get him? Can I get him in time? I don't think I can get him in time. I'm sorry. I should have been looking more carefully, he actually died so that he could do this. So that he could force us to attack the tips of the tentacles. He, in fact, committed suicide. I mean, why? Obviously, he was far from discouraged by the previous experience. So, he went for it, and he suffered for it dearly. And he's back already. Alright. I will just patiently wait for your tentacles to be within reach. It is actually a good idea to gather at these shinies. Sometimes you can get ancient dragon treasures, which are pretty decent for pocket points, if you're in need of pocket points. In my opinion, if you're hunting this monster, you're probably in need of pocket points, because you likely want some Dragonwood Plus. Now, Dragonwood Plus is the hardest thing to get from this monster. You can just hunt this monster to get it if you'd like, but I'd caution against that. Feel free to hunt this monster as well, but you do want to be sending Trenya out to some location, I can't remember now. There are a few locations where it works, but there's one in particular that is ideal to actually get rewards of Dragonwood Plus. That is the fastest way to get them. You will be hunting a lot of Yamatsukami otherwise. Dragonwood Plus is hard to get, and certain Yamatsukami weapons do require it. I know that the most effective of the Yamatsukami weapons from memory is the longsword. It's a very good paralysis longsword. So, yeah, if you want to make that, I think you need like 10 Dragonwood Plus. That's a lot. So, yeah. My overall point is that you probably want pocket points. It would put a big old grin on your face if you could afford to send Trenya out. Hello, Tifa. Your question, Null, as to why I was sheathing, I cannot answer because I don't know when I was sheathing or why. But, yeah, here we go. It's good timing. Because I'm able to respond immediately to the danger. We did not get a follow-up slap. And that was actually annoying for me because he didn't bring his tentacle in my direction. So, we're probably nearing the 15-minute mark, but like I said, it's a challenge. My Dolce, aka Ice Cream, is pinging, which is nice of him, but I can assure him, but not in a way that he can hear me, because he's not watching, that I am aware of the danger. It is known to me. Oh, lovely. I'll just prostrate myself before this monster, on my hands and knees, instead of hitting it. In fact, there's no real... Oh, I see. Why did I sheathe when using life powder? I suppose you'd say it's a habit. You know, in the moment where I really needed to use it, I didn't consciously realize that I was using Sword and Shield and could use it without sheathing. So, yeah. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to keep this handy whenever he does this attack so that I can perhaps come to Madolce's aid if I need to. But yeah, makes sense. I just hadn't really thought about it. And I didn't know what you were referring to because I didn't consciously realize that I had even sheathed at that time. It was just a reaction. that I had no knowledge of. Alright. Danger zone. Okay, go, 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 go. Move. Sheathe. And I think it should conclude before we need to jump. Yes. Well, that's good news. We don't have to waste our time climbing back up. But yeah, I'm not doing the fucking trank bomb thing anymore. I prefer to just do this. We are given so many opportunities here that there's just no point being forced to attack the tip of his tentacles like we were before. Just so that we can hit him on the occasion that he does a body slam. Because you can see he's doing this a lot. Now, it is dangerous. It's kind of intimidating as well. But, yeah. Again, sheathing just in case I do have to make the jump. Which may happen. I'm jumping. I wasn't going to take the chance. Not worth it. I'd say we're doing alright though. It's probably never advisable to two-man something like a Yamatsukami unless you've got really optimal loadouts. And I'd say Sword and Shield is not optimal. Certainly sub-optimal. So, I do expect that we may hit the 20-minute mark, but at least we will have succeeded in using Sword and Shields on Yamatsukami. At least I will be able to say that I've done it. I have actually forced myself to do that. I've experienced one of the worst matchups in the game. As far as I'm concerned anyway, that's not like a common rule. Some sort of undisputed axiom of the Monster Hunter Freedom Unite community. Oh, come on, I walked into it. Because it's what you would call a lingering hitbox. It lasts for way longer than the fucking animation itself. Now, if we're talking about fractions of a second, maybe it wouldn't be considered a long time after, but in terms of the way in which I perceive it, that's a long time. Because I can see that the animation itself has concluded, but I still took the hit, which is dumb. Any time after the conclusion of the animation where I can still get hit is, for me, too long. He actually didn't even manage to hit the ground with that attack. He just passed through the building. Maybe that means he's about to die. He's becoming... Oh no, actually, sorry, I think it did make contact. It's just that I didn't hear it. I've only got one earphone in at the moment, so I can't hear anything in the right channel. That's probably what it was. Silly me. Oh god, that's the first time we've actually knocked him down. I hope that's not an indication of... I've never had that happen. Have you ever fallen inside the ribs? Is what that looked like. Of the Yamatsukami. That's quite funny. I've fallen straight through before, and it's annoying when that happens. But I've never sort of floated inside the monster before. That was interesting. I'm not going down there. I will take this opportunity to pour another glass. I hope I'm not at risk. Because I feel quite vulnerable right now. Alright. Here we go again. I should have learnt my lesson, but I didn't. What is my affinity? It is -10, that's fine. Anything above 10 is bad news, but 10 is manageable. Tolerable. If this is painful to watch because we can only barely hit the monster, imagine being the person having to endure it as the player. There we go. Yeah, I hope that only having achieved one knockdown isn't indicative of low damage being dealt. I don't think it is. I don't think it's a damage threshold thing. If it's a damage threshold thing, then that's really bad. But I think that's a far-fetched. It's a remote possibility that we've done so little damage that only one knockdown has occurred. It might be a build-up of DPS under certain circumstances that will cause the monster to fall like that, which is more likely to occur with more players rather than with two. It's been a long time since I've gone two-man against this monster, although it has been done before. In moments of crisis where... oh shit. In moments of crisis where I needed Yamatsukami materials but could not really find a team to hunt him with. No, I should have just gone for that tentacle. It actually presented itself within range of me, and I sort of walked away as if I were not interested. Well, I am interested. I'm interested in hitting the monster. That would be great. Do something so I can hit you. It's very nice of you. Right on command. Oh yeah, I didn't mention it, but it's currently Friday for me, and apparently on Saturday, which is probably more likely to be Sunday for me, the Monster Hunter Tri open beta is happening. And I'm of course referring to the revived Lochlac servers. So that's pretty cool. Sadly, I won't be able to participate at that time because I do have other commitments, so... yeah, I'm sort of regretful that I won't be there that day, but it's fine. I've got time to play later on in the week. Doesn't bother me. Not enough to dwell on it and to be very upset about it. But it is a little bit of a shame. Sick of looking at that. That looks like anal prolapse. Let's just face this way. Yamatsukami fluid. I don't think it's... I think you can carve Dragonwood Plus, but I believe you're technically more likely to get it in the rewards, and it's still a very low chance. Especially when you need several of them. I probably have a decent amount by now, because I haven't needed any in a long time. But a decent amount probably is not more than 10. I've probably got like 5 or something along those lines. Well, that was enthralling. And also tiring. I got some true armor spheres, which I probably am in need of. Alright. Let's see if we can get the room together. Dodge Yama, spin with sword sharpening. It won't work, and I'll tell you why. I have speed sharpening. So, I would not have been able to dodge that Yamatsukami spin while sharpening, although that's an excellent idea. Alright. So we do have someone in this room. We're going to find out who the hell it is. It's someone named Luna. Is it a known person? It is Tifa. That, needless to say, is a known person. It's good to see that he's willing to play. As for the next hunt, I think we're about to find out what it is. I'm not going to do a weapon selection. I'm not interested at the moment. After having... Oh, fuck off. Really, 2 Fatalis monsters in a row. You know what frustrates me the most about that? It's the fact that I'm going to get a fucking 30-minute cooldown or something absurd like that for this command. So the next person to roll will have to do it for me. So, I mean, I don't want to do Crimson Fatalis. I have less of a desire to hunt Crimson Fatalis than I do to hunt White Fatalis, and that's saying a lot. We've just had Teostra rolled, which is, you know what, better. Sorry, I meant to show that. Yeah, I don't think I was actually displaying the chat at all, but yeah. Teostra, what would I use for that quest to make it fun? I could go Paralysis. I can't remember if I've shown you guys a Paralysis run with this monster before or not, but just in case I haven't, I will actually do that, just to show you how effective it is. Let's actually do Jump Teostra, because I hope I didn't say Fatalis at any point. I feel like I said Fatalis instead of Teostra, but I'm going to ask to do Jump Teostra for the increased Big Elder Dragon Jewel chance. So when I go Paralysis, I do naturally prefer the team to use opportunity-based weapons like Greatsword and Hammer, because if the monster's going to be stuck in place, it does make those weapons even more effective. The effective use of them, in other words, good positioning and good timing, will mean that the weapon will be almost at peak effectiveness in the hands of someone who knows how to use them anyway. But if the monster's constantly stuck in one place, not actually locked down, so to speak, but definitely paralyzed on a frequent basis, the weapon is really going to shine. So, yeah. Let me remember the combination materials. I think I'm doing Paralysis level 2, so I think it will be Bone Husk Small with something. I don't remember what now. Somehow I have forgotten. Is it? I don't think it's Parashroom, it's something else, I think. Maybe it's not. Let's find out. Let's try Parashroom first. So it's not Parashroom, because I'm pretty sure it's Small Bone Husk, so let's try doing it in the box here. Let's go Small Bone Husk and see what's actually lit up. That's right, it's Gen Prey Fangs. Had a mental blink. So that's what we want for Paralysis level 2. And that's all I really need to bring. The rest of the team will pretty much deal all the damage. Hey Potato, and hello, Hey Gaming. Hopefully we can get a third person, because I would actually almost prefer to be dealing damage if there are only 2 other damage dealers, but this setup will work too. It will get it done in less than 10 minutes, as long as they bring good loadouts themselves, which I'm sure they will. But I will advertise for an additional place. Let me just get into the room first, and then I can do the My Gathering Hub command. Weak 777. I've played with this guy before. I think even on camera. Not recently, though. Even if he's weak, as his name suggests, Jump Teostra shouldn't present too much of a challenge for him if the monster's constantly paralyzed. That's my hope, anyway. He's using a Cantor Longsword, which is not a great weapon. It's okay, but it's definitely not good. Or particularly good. So, we'll see. He has, without hesitation, joined up on the quest. He's got defense -20, going up against a monster that deals more damage than almost any other monster in the game. So, whatever floats his boat, I guess. Did I end up eating? Is that... No, that should be fine. That should be fine. Because I've got guts, and I can get my health to a point where it'll take effect every time anyway. It would just be easier to not have eaten, because I'd be able to more easily get to a health percentage where guts would take effect every time, but that's fine. It's just when I have guts, you can still eat, of course, if you've got cats that will allow for, you know, the granting of skills with a combination of food that will not give you a health boost, but you start getting into crazy pseudoscience for me once you start worrying about things like that. I don't have time for it. It is 4 AM where A-Gaming is. Week 777. Actually, no. It was Madolce who was quite quickly engaging the monster. He's hungry. He's ready for combat. Oh shit. Oh no, I do have my Book of Combos. I forgot to manually put them in my inventory, but I'm pleased to see that I always keep them there. That's why, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I always keep them there. It's because I may forget otherwise. What the hell is this guy doing? If he... Nah. I will give him 2 minutes to start moving. If he doesn't move, I will assume that he is leeching. That is what I will assume. Simple as that. I will give him 2 minutes, and if he doesn't move, I will kick him from the quest during the quest. I have no concerns about doing that. None whatsoever. Alright. So during every paralysis, I just combine back up to 8. And I will reload. Like, I don't care. If we're going to do this with 2 damage dealers anyway, I'll kick that motherfucker. He is not staying in this room to leech off our work. I don't care if his name is Week 777 or not. He's moving around now, so maybe I was drawing conclusions hastily. But, you know, the circumstances were such that it was possible that he was leeching. You don't really see it. It's not something that you see in the Monster Hunter community. I haven't seen it very often. But Dolce is in danger. I haven't been, like, really on the ball with my paralysis, I should confess. But it's alright. Hopefully by the time the next paralysis goes out, well, there's our guts activated. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I would much prefer to be at 100 health right now. But yeah, what I was going to say is that hopefully by the time the next paralysis goes out, this guy will be ready to engage. I don't know if he's taking the piss, but he has taken his sweet time to get here. If he goes in there, okay, good. Because if his instinct with a longsword was to go for the head and then trip Luna, that would have just been absurd. I don't think I want to refer to Tifa as Luna. Excuse me, I don't want to refer to Luna as Tifa, because I'm worried that that will confuse the viewers, you know. I'll say Tifa and they're like, who? Which person among these people who do not have the name Tifa is Tifa? So I'm not going to say that. I will refer to all of you by your in-game names. That's the way it's going to happen. I could call him Tuna. That's an option as well, admittedly. Just for good measure, I'll heal up to... Oh, never mind, I've been healed up to full anyway. Weak 777 is in danger. Okay, good. Saved by the... I don't know. Good fortunes of the monster's combat AI. I don't like using the word AI anymore. It has a different connotation. Well, I don't like using it in the way that I used to use it, because it means something different now. It actually means something different now. You know, people in 20 years are going to look back and be like, oh, wow, people were using the word AI way before AI came out. Well, that's because we meant it a little less literally than the phrase suggested. There we go. I'm glad that they all went for it. Oh, that's because it was yellow powder. That makes sense. But yeah, for those who are unfamiliar, the quest that we're doing currently is it's an event quest called Jump Teostra. It is a Teostra with much less health than a standard Teostra. You can very easily kill it in 10 minutes, whereas killing a full health standard Teostra in 10 minutes is quite an achievement. And Weak has died. I'm not surprised, like I'm not sitting here going, oh, he's died! It's not a shock. I was just hoping that maybe we could delay or possibly prevent what would otherwise be the inevitable by repeatedly paralyzing the monster, but that is not how things have transpired. It's probably better to have him than not. Probably. Alright, so I'm going to hold off on the paralysis until the... Oh! I was going to say that I'll hold off on the paralysis until the KO has concluded. But that was pretty much unnecessary. I don't know why Weak is pinging, like we can somehow delay the conclusion of the hunt. Because he's died. I wasn't really expecting to kill it that fast, with what was for the most part just 2 damage dealers, but there you go. That was, by the way, full health. That was a full health Jump Teostra. I thought that was a big Elder Dragon jewel. That would have been pretty good. But yeah, you couldn't really do that. In fact, I don't think it's possible. Maybe it is possible with 4 very well optimized hunters to do that. To kill a full health standard Teostra in that time, but I'm just going to, for argument's sake, say that it's not possible. You can, however, do it with this monster because he hits a lot harder, much harder, but has less health. A strange quirk with this monster as well is that when he goes to sleep, he can actually regrow his horns. I don't know if it's a glitch or what, but you know how technically a monster's part, let's say a wing or horns or whatever, is a percentage of the monster's health? Well, it seems that when this monster recovers health, those also recover health. Those parts of the monster that are a percentage of health to be depleted, which will then result in a break. It's crazy. It may be intentional or it may not. With Capcom, you have no way of knowing. You can only assume or guess. Big Elder Dragon jewel? Nope. That's alright. I'm not desperately in need of them anyway. I'll probably record for 2.5 hours because I did have a first hunt that I decided not to include in the final VOD. So there you are. Hopefully Mr. Weak 777 can keep up with the events as they unfold. We are not doing one particular hunt repeatedly, nor are we at any point going to do his hunts. We are doing random hunts. So, it is Yan Kut-Ku at Bird's Hill. Isn't that the mini one? Fucking hell. I think that's the mini one. What would be the least painful weapon to use for the mini Kut-Ku? Something that I can use to attack from a distance. But I don't necessarily want to use a ranged weapon either. Almost nothing sounds appropriate right now. I'll use a lance. What am I doing? Apparently going past my lance set. Suppose we'll use whatever my water lance is, Aquarius. Because while having everyone crowd around a small monster may suggest that lance is a poor choice, I think I can actually use the range of lance to just hit the monster with the tip of the lance as long as I judge it correctly, it being the length of my lance. So that way I can hit the monster, yet also avoid the chaos surrounding it. We'll see. Now, at Bird's Hill is a standard hunt, actually. I think it's G3. No, it's not. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Yan Kut-Ku? It's a funny quest, but it's also very annoying if you don't have the right loadout for it. Yeah, I just put away my life powders. I'm not a support player. What are you talking about? Luna has quite appropriately decided to invest in the damage dealing of the team rather than get involved in the scuffle. I mean, he can get involved in the scuffle if he wants to. He can still attack with his hunting horn, but through using attack up large, he can actually just deal damage through us instead. Which is a great idea. I wish I had thought of it. My Dolce is using the Great Gavas fan. Or just the Gavas fan. Which is a fun choice, I suppose. I also have that longsword. It's really quite a beautiful longsword when unsheathed. It starts off as an umbrella. Let's not go this way. Or is it over here? I don't have Psycho Serums, unfortunately. I think he starts over here. Oh no, he is... No, he's not over there. I saw them attacking a Melinx, which could have very easily been the Kut-Ku. Oh no, it is over here. Alright. They seem to know best. There it is. It makes such silly noises, doesn't it? I was hoping that I'd be able to jump back away from it. Look at the size of the wind pressure. The wind pressure is exactly the same as a normal-sized Kut-Ku, which is really silly to look at. And difficult to accept. Oh my god. Must have powerful wings. Ugh. Yeah. Hits hard too, as you can fucking tell. Ow. This is... What's going on with my defense? Is this, like, upgraded at all? Oh, I have, I do have a high rank armor piece, but still, like, he does hurt. He deals more damage than a standing Kut-Ku, but that was a lot. That was like half my health. Also, it felt. I don't know if I've just recovered red health or if I'd been healed. Looks like someone's on the life powders. Oh, this bloody wind pressure. The head has been broken. If you can hear that strange sound, that's actually the Gubba's fan being used. It's got its own sound effect. And he's limping. I guess he's got the same health as a regular Kut-Ku. Why are you pinging? Did you want to capture it? I suppose it would have been funny to capture it. Would have been easy to as well, because he's much slower than a standard sized Kut-Ku, so we could have just placed the trap before he could even get to it. Whereas normally you wouldn't be able to do that. I would actually like to carve this Kut-Ku if you wouldn't mind. Not that I really need the materials, but I'm a material hoarder. We can get 3 carves out of a mini Kut-Ku, but only 2 out of a Kirin. Does that make any sense? No. No, it does not. Technically, it does still have more meat than a Velocidrome, though. Courtesy of those wings, I'd say. You keep mentioning this, Potato. Nobody cares that you can't get Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on iOS anymore. Like, so what? God. Every time. If you own an Apple device, you should reconsider being part of any community that I'm a part of. Anyway. I used to own Apple devices, but that's... that was a long time ago. Before I knew about their business practices, and also really what it was like to use an Apple device. I always used to jailbreak my Apple devices, though. Was it called Cydia? The reason why that doesn't sound quite right is because it makes me think of Dissidia, the game. But I think it was called Cydia, wasn't it? Anyway. It's weird, I haven't thought about that in a long time. My last jailbroken Apple device was my iPod Touch. About 11 years ago. Alright. I had all sorts of strange things going on though. Like, all of my apps had a flaming effect on them, so it was like, whoa. it was silly, but it was funny as well. Like, I did it for fun, and, yeah. And I, instead of swiping to the left and right for my apps, I scrolled up and down in a list, which actually, strangely, made more sense to me, and still would make more sense to me. Yeah, I had a lot of interesting features on that. I need to re-roll. Let me do that now. Not that command, silly you. Random hunt. How long have I been live for? Oh, that would be right, wouldn't it? You are on cooldown because you had the misfortune of rolling a Crimson Fatalis, which puts you on an eternal fucking cooldown. Eternal. Thank you, Tifa. Fuck. Shogun Senator is a bit boring, so do we have... Let's just look for a DLC quest that includes Shogun Senator that might be fun to do. Just to make it easier, I will choose something raw-based, so that it's equally effective no matter what. And then I'll go in and choose something. I do have all DLC loaded, so I will do that. What's a fun raw weapon that I am in possession of? I used the Pirate J sword recently, but I'll equip it because we do have a group of 4, I think. Is that right? Did we depart with weak 777? I think we did, yeah. So we've still got the guy. I will hold on. Just got a message from my girlfriend. We had seen this this pendant in a jewelry shop. It's like this. It's a whale tail, just like a whale's tail. And I looked at it and I'm just like, that's a truly ugly pendant, both in concept and visually. Like, why would anyone want that? And then just this afternoon, I saw this middle-aged bald man wearing this silver whale tail pendant, and I told her, and she's like, maybe he loves the ocean. It's like, well, I don't know. I think you'd have to like the design more than the ocean. But of course, she says it jokingly, but like, fucking hell, why would you wear that? I don't know. It's a weird thing to wear, in my opinion. But hold on, what am I doing? I'm getting a... Well, no, I won't bring a high-graded plug set. I will bring this set, and I will also equip that raw weapon that I had identified, whichever one that was. That's right. The Pirate J sword. Of course, I use the Pirate J sword not with the understanding that it's good, because that would be a misapprehension, to put it mildly. Potato, for fuck's sake. We've been together for over a year. Anyway. What am I doing? I'm going through the event quests. Anything with Cyanotools. So we've got 2 Terra Shogun Cyanotools, keeping in mind that the weakness is the same for both Standard Shogun and Terra. But that's not all that exciting either. Got Terra and Plum Daimyo. Oh yeah, that's Amizari Carnival, which is sort of obvious, but maybe we could do that. Let's do that. Why not? It also makes it worthwhile that I've used a raw weapon, because those 2 monsters do not have the same primary weakness, or even secondary weaknesses, I don't think. So, that's a reasonable choice. Oh, yeah, let's stock up on an ancient potion. I don't know why I hadn't done that sooner. No, I've been... Potato, you are not tuning in at all to my recordings. I have been more sharp-tongued in recent recordings than I have been in recent memories, so you are living in a fantasy, man. I'm just letting you know. Like, you can create whatever narrative that suits you in your mind, but I have been... I have not changed. I just don't think you've been around, quite frankly. Oh, he's actually hitting me in the head with a wok. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I just got hit in the back of the head with a wok. Which is quite funny. Alright. Now, again, just so that everyone knows, the Pirate J longsword sucks. I just think it looks cool, and I like to use it. I use it only when we've got a group of... Actually, my Dolce is also using it. A joke weapon. Quite frankly, I do actually consider the Pirate J longsword to be a joke weapon, because for what it is, Like, see these stats? It looks fine, doesn't it? But the thing is, that thick... I don't know if it's appropriate to call it a wad. I don't think we'd call it a wad. Let's just say that significant amount of purple sharpness, that doesn't really counterbalance the disturbing lack of raw damage that it has compared to a number of longswords in the game. Particularly the Copper Blangonga longsword. You know, the existence of the Copper Blangonga longsword totally invalidates this thing. So, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty bad. I wouldn't feel that way about it if it weren't for the fact that there are a lot of elemental longswords that have more raw than this thing. But that's also a fact. You know, that's a bad... it's a scathing criticism of the weapon to be able to say that. That there are elemental weapons with more raw. Oh my god. And I was quite right to bring a shitty weapon. Again, don't forget, I'm pretty sure, what is that called? The Millennium Knife or something like that? That Madolche has? I can't remember what it's called. It's either the Millennium Knife or something that looks similar to the Millennium Knife. And that's a shitty weapon too. And we are just absolutely beating down these crabs. We killed that Plum Daimyo Hermitor before I think any of us even had to contend with the Terra Shogun. Because it was just that quick. So, there you are. I don't even want to heal. I may come to regret it, but... if I were to die as a result of my decision to not heal, I would accept it. Oh, there we go. I got healed. I think it's time to die very soon, Shogun. I can sense it. If I know this team, and I think I do, you are not long for this world. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Am I overestimating the effectiveness of the team? I overestimated the effectiveness of the team by approximately 5 to 6 seconds. So, yeah. Woe is me. Thank you for your Prime subscription. How generous of you to allocate your Prime subscription to me. Little old me. Oh, yes. Have not carved this Hermitor just yet. Who's running around? Luna. Luna brought a legitimate weapon to this confrontation, and weak 777 probably doesn't have any other weapon to use, so there you go. How much is he consuming? He's actually consumed 500 might seeds between the killing of both monsters and the quest clear stamp. So, I'm not sure what's happening there. So this thing here, the Amizari Carapace, this can be used for multiple weapons. Strangely, not the bowgun? Am I correct in saying that? There's a... maybe... no, I think you can use it for the bowgun as well. There are dual blades, there's a longsword, and a bowgun. I don't know if there are any others, but... they're pretty much all very good weapons for what they are. Even the longsword, I think, is a very good water longsword. I'm actually going to double check that. I don't know how many Amizari Carapaces I need to forge the longsword, but I think that would be my priority. I might double check the light bowgun as well. I think the light bowgun is good for rapid water, and probably a few other things, but particularly rapid water. So let's check it out. It'll probably be at the back. Amizari crossbow G. Fucking hell. So I need one more Oh, it's Amizari shell, which is a different thing. We were getting carapace, not shell. So, how does this work? Oh, it shoots all elements, and what does it rapid fire? What? Red crayfish bowgun, favoured by comedians. Rapid fires both water shot and retorts. What? The problem with that sentence, I think what it means is that it makes noises. The retorts refers to the noise that it makes when you shoot. But the problem is that it looks like retorts is a shot type, which it obviously isn't. So I don't know what the hell that's about. Let's just not bother with that. I don't think that's better than the genie's lamp. Is that better than the genie's lamp? Let's do a comparison. 312, and then 3 on all the elements. 312. Fuck it. You kidding me? It also doesn't shoot dragon, this one does. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. There's almost no competition. I mean, this doesn't rapid fire or anything, but come on, like, Genie's Lamp. I still haven't made Genie's Lamp. I really should, shouldn't I? I can probably fully upgrade the thing. I just don't want to... well, no. Let's hold off on that. Genie's Lamp is a low priority for me because I am quite happy with my absolute bowgun, so... yeah. But Genie's Lamp with auto reload, beautiful. Really quite nice. Really nice. Okay. So, the other weapon that I wanted to check, let me do a reroll. And I will also... let me just give you a visual demonstration of what I am struggling with here. Thank you. And I will also give Tifa... oh, I think he's actually asking for CTY this time around. He's usually asking for me to give him 1 HVFL as some kind of joke. I tried to do... okay, it did work. Very good. He is now aggressively masturbating, which is delightful. Okay. Now, where is this longsword? In fact, what was re-rolled? It was... or what was rolled, in this case. It is Red Khezu. Happy to do Red Khezu. Okay, where's this longsword? It should be over here. Somewhere. It may not be listed as a G weapon. Mizari's sword. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I do need a great lobster shell for it. But one thing I do wonder is whether or not this can be upgraded further. That'd be really cool if it can be, because I do see that it has pretty poor attack, so I'd like for it to have a bit more. And I think it does actually upgrade 1 stage more, because only requiring 2 carapace for a single upgrade, to me, and to my way of thinking, would suggest that it's likely that it has a second upgrade, yes. Red Khezu. I'm actually going to check. I'm going to speed up just for the sake of my teammates. I'm going to check to see if there's an event quest that involves Red Khezu, because just a single Red Khezu with a group of 4 is probably not going to be all that substantial. We have an epic hunting quest called Jump Red Rumble Roundup. 3 red monsters, each with different weaknesses. We've got thunder, water, and ice. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to speed up again. I hope that doesn't put you off at all. What I'll do is I will eat, I will prepare for the hunt, and I will then take a moment to go to the... well, I will post the quest, let them join up on it, and ready up as necessary. And then I will go to the bathroom, because I need to. Let's bring a hammer, just for fun. I'll bring the magnitude. I do not often bring a hammer, so this time I shall. The need to go to the toilet has hit me quite hard quite quickly, so... yeah. This is the quest. Red Khezu was chosen, and we're doing Red Khezu. It's just there's more involved. I'll be back in a moment. Okay. I'm back. Hey, Peaberry, and thank you for the subscription. There you go. Subscribed for 11 months now. Very good. Does that mean you... Yes, I see. So this is your 12th month, then. Thank you very much. I will double check with Tifa to see if he is coming. Maybe he got my friendship points and then fucked off. This is entirely possible. He probably is watching the live stream, so he knows what I'm saying. Therefore, I don't really need to message him on Discord. But, in case he's not watching, I've sent him a message. Where are you? And Null is responding in the chat with an angry face. Oh yeah, that's right. He did say that that was going to be his last hunt, because he needs to finish some work. Which is fair enough. Okay, so we're going to depart, therefore, with 2 people. Besides myself. I don't know why I said 2 people, I meant 3. Alright, let's get a move on. I am going to assume that this is 1 monster at a time. This is Daimyo Hermitor, Red Khezu, and Rathalos. Now, because there are 3 monsters and not 4, I'm just going to assume that there are... It's going to be one after the other. Which means that if it's just the 3 of us, that's going to be more than enough. Ugh, bastard. Should have brought my sonic bombs, actually. My Dolce has been targeted by Daimyo Hermitor because he's using a Daimyo Hermitor hunting horn. Hermitor is getting revenge. Sorry, well, didn't end up hitting weak 777, which is good news for him. I'm not really committed to aiming for the face of this monster. Would have been nice to wait for a... was hoping that I would remain in my invulnerability period long enough to survive that, but... Or avoid it, I should say. Survive. Well, I have survived it, but I was not able to get out of it, so to speak. Fucking hell, it's hard to get a hit on the face. Fortunately, my golf swing, which is obviously the damaging attack, did make contact with the head, but... Anyway. Obviously, I have no need whatsoever to be overly critical of my play, because the monster's fucking dead. I'm just curious to see what we end up getting from this hunt. It's probably not a hunt where we get special event items. Could just be a chance to get materials from all 3 monsters, and maybe some commendations, or whatever the hell. But, you know, it's always good to do something a little different, and these DLC quests, or in other words, event quests, are an opportunity to do that. Something a little different. Okay, that's pretty scary. P-Berry. And P-Berry's comment in the chat is, I always thought wearing a monster's armor to fight the monster was pretty funny. Imagine the hunter rolls up wearing you. Now, I actually read that the first time around as imagine if the monster turns up wearing you. That that's how I initially read that. And I shat a little when I read it. Hello, Yara Tabs Gaming. Good to see you. Yeah, that is way worse. That's actually what I thought you had said. But yeah, no, that's pretty scary, like, thinking about it from the monster's perspective, sure. I'd be pretty put off by it. Yeah, imagine if the monster has just dressed itself in your skin. It's covered in your skin. It's covered in human skin. Ugh. Stretched it over its body. What skills would Hunter X armor have? I don't remember, I'm sorry. I have a vague memory of the set. and nothing's coming to mind. I have a vague memory of its existence, but I have no memory whatsoever of its skills. I think my memory of it comes from 4 Ultimate, however. I don't think I've actually seen it in Generations Ultimate. Oh, fucking hell, man. He did apologize immediately for having done that, which I appreciate, but still, it did upset me on several levels. Oh. I guess 2 KO people can never live together in harmony. That's the... I guess this is when the Fire Nation attacked. When everything changed. Alright. I wasn't immediately thinking of Avatar, The Last Airbender, when I said live together in harmony, but for the first time in a long time I was reminded of that show. I should really endeavour to use more hammer than I typically do. I apologise for not using more hammer. I can assure you guys that I actually enjoy using hammer when I do use it. It's just there's a certain laziness that has resulted in me just not using it. I just don't know why, but when I'm sitting around thinking of what to use, hammer is not immediately an appealing option to me. It just feels like I'm going to have to put extra effort into aiming for a particular part of the monster, and when I'm sitting there making a weapon selection, I'm just like, couldn't be bothered. You know, when I sit down and use the weapon, it's comfortable enough. Regardless of the generation in which I'm using it. You can see here that I'm pretty much going for DPS because it's a Khezu. I can't really consistently hit the head, at least not without messing up my teammates. So, you know, going for the legs, I suppose, which will then result in a chance to get... oh, fuck off. Which will result in a chance to get the... or will result in an opportunity to hit the head, is probably the best course of action here. And case in point. Leave me alone. I get that you've also got a KO weapon, but mine is more effective, both in terms of dealing damage and in terms of dealing KO, so please, defer to me if it is within your power to do so. Which, as far as I'm concerned, it fucking is. But yeah, P-Berry watches me a lot. He can attest to the fact that I never pull out a fucking hammer. It's only because I'm too lazy. And that's a dead Khezu. I can't believe I was bouncing with fucking white sharpness on that monster. Are you kidding me? Red Khezu. Bouncing with white sharpness. What's going on? There was a time when I used to use hammer all the time. Maybe I just got burnt out. It's the same with bowgun. I never use hammer or bowgun anymore. It's just odd. I mean, the time when I used hammer most often was in Try, so things were a little different back then. The way you would play was... the super pounds were the most damaging attack, so you would often charge up a super pound and then walk around the monster while your super pound was charged, waiting for the right opportunity. Whereas now, you can do that every now and again, but to have that be the main strategy would not be advisable. But, yeah, in that game, it was super pounds all day, so... oh, there's that tail. Come on, Raffles. Well, I don't know my timing for it. Not anymore. Used to know it. Now that I've had a test run, I know the timing. Now I just need to get myself in the right position. I will actually ping for an apology though. Even though it was just me getting him back. Bastard. I'm out of stamina. I'll just do a level 2 in the face. Never mind, he wasn't aiming for me there. Head opportunity. Oh, I thought he was actually going for fireballs there. What the fuck are you playing at, Rathalos? This is lovely, but you're not actually hitting anyone, man. What was he trying to do? Alright, we'll get a turnaround superpower. Or not, he's just gonna do that instead. Prick, I'm getting you in a trap. I've had enough. I've actually had enough of this behavior. And he does the fireball at the perfect time, you prick. Now get in here, that's what I like to see. You bastard. KO? Ugh. You and your KO resistance. Well, I don't think he has a particular KO resistance, but to me that was resistant because I wasn't the only one hitting his head. My Dolce was on the job as well. So don't know what's up with that. Fucking tail. And he got the KO. Glad he didn't hit me with that. No, don't do your run. That hurts. I can't resist the temptation, I have to do it. Fortunately, I was life powdered though. Alright, fine. I got the neck, sadly. Again, positioning still needs a bit of work. For this monster. And he's dead. I'll try to use a bit more hammer. I'll stop being lazy about it. I actually, because what's silly about it is that I do enjoy myself when I use hammer. But for some reason I have no willingness to select it when I think of selecting it. I was about to say it's the same case with the switch axe. But actually I don't enjoy myself when I use the switch axe. So, the thing is, the two weapons that I use most infrequently, or least frequently, are the hammer and the switch axe. But I don't want to for one moment suggest that my like for switch axe and hammer are somehow similar or close to one another. Like, not at all. I actually really like hammer. Switch axe is just better off being removed from the series entirely. It never should have been devised and implemented. Maybe as a cute third gen thing. I don't know why they decided to stick with it. It's weird to me. Oh, it's a Pirate J quest. I didn't realize. Very well. Right, Pirate J is for jump. Cool. Forgot that it was a jump quest, actually. Otherwise I wouldn't have said, oh, maybe this is just for materials and commendations. I actually had not clocked that. It was a jump quest. Now I remember. Alright, what am I missing? Trap, that's what I'm missing. Alright. Whatever the next quest is, I will use a hammer as well. Alright. We shall reroll. Twin Terrors, we're not doing that. No. No. I don't care. I like Fatalis? Sure. Twin Terrors? No. No, thank you. I'm not doing fucking Twin Terrors. I'd rather race in the Manx TT with 0 experience on a motorcycle than do TT in Freedom Unite. Black Gravius is what has been selected. Sorry, no. I'm not using a hammer for that. It's not happening. I don't think you want to see that, and I definitely don't want to see that. So, no thank you. Maybe you do want to see that, and if you do, you're a sadist. Alright. What would be appropriate? Obviously something ranged. What's a fun water weapon that I have? Fun water weapon. Anything at all? Anything? Anything weird? I do have... Oh, right, fine, we'll do that. I don't know if it's going to be a good idea or not, but we'll do it. Amizari Claws. Which are actually they are now my go-to dual blades because I do consider them to be better than the Guild Knight Sabers. Which is a good thing because I'm already using the Guild Knight Sabers in 1st gen, so why use them in 2nd as well? Why am I getting a direct message from Florence956 on Twitch? What's going on? Hi, what's up? Yeah, I'll just have a fucking chat with you while I'm live streaming. Why did you send me a direct message? Yeah, I'll just respond. Hey, live streaming right now, having fun. How about you? And just like continue the conversation. Like, communicate in the chat. If you're watching live, don't direct message me. Feel free to do that after the stream, I don't mind, but yeah, that's kind of silly to do it while I'm live. I'm not going to respond. Alright. Let's get some Black Gravius on the go. It's black, right? Yes. We will do the single one. Whoops, that is regular Gravius. Let's remove that. So we do have 2 people who aren't Ice Cream in the room right now, or in other words... what was his bloody name again? I don't remember. It was... whatever the guy who has been hunting this whole recording, whatever his name was, I've forgotten it, shockingly. But anyway, single Black Gravios, please. There we go. Ma dolce. To my rather uncultured eyes, that looks very Italiano. I say uncultured because it's possible that I'm wrong. I don't have much of a background in linguistics, but more than that, I don't have a huge exposure to all the languages of Europe. I know enough to, obviously, not make a complete ass of myself, but I remember, I did immediately correct myself, but I remember at the start of my Spyro Dawn of the Dragon Let's Play back in 2016, I saw the French flag and called it the Italian flag. And I laughed and I said, wait, no, sorry, it's the French flag. Don't want to be pissing off the French. That was funny. The thing about these dual blades P-Berry is that they don't just look cool, they have a funny sound going on as well. What is weak 777 doing? He's resting after his experience of succeeding in multiple quests, one after the other. It's probably the first time he's ever had it in his life. Actually succeeding in quests, week 777. And quite frankly, it's become a bit too much for him. He's overwhelmed, he needs to take a moment to rest and just have a timeout. Very well. I'm tempted to depart without him. I can see Ice Cream's typing. Oh, he's peeing him. I'll give him 2 minutes. I think that it is most appropriate to give him 2 minutes after he was pinged, rather than 2 minutes from the moment we join the room, although he should be either communicating that he intends to disappear for a period of time, or letting us know that he doesn't want to continue. Or at least, well, not that. The second option or scenario was going to be that he keeps an eye on the damn game to make sure that, you know, he's ready to hunt when we are. Looks like he's back. Oh, excuse me. I wouldn't go so far as to say that wine went down the wrong hole. But maybe I swallowed more than I initially intended. Alright. You know what I will bring? And I don't do this often. Hold on. Do I have the combination materials to make a lot of these? Where's my dash extract? Well, sorry, power extract it's called in this game. I've got 66 power extract. Let's make some stuff. Let's do a bit of combining. Oh, fuck. Isn't it power extract and catalyst? I don't have catalyst. Well, I'm not going to sit here and combine all day. I've got places to be. Mega Juice and Power Juice. Let's do this. I'm making an exception for Black Gravios. The reason why I feel like I need to do this is because I want to be able to remain in demonized mode, yet also have the mobility to get the hell out of the way when he may do his fire farts. That is the technical term for the attack. Fire farts. And they hurt. I don't know where Gravios is. I have neglected for something like the 6th time to restock on Psycho Serums. I don't actually keep stock of them in my box. I purchased them in stacks of 3 from the granny. And I believe she sells them in every rotation. So I will start with a power juice. I really should have started with a mega juice. That would have made more sense. Because I'm more likely to waste one of them if I start with power juice. I'm going to get hit! There's nothing I can do if I'm demon dancing now, is there? No. There's nothing at all that I can do. But yeah, if you listen to the weapons... there's a lot of laughing going on, and a lot of silly noises. That's what makes these weapons event weapons. It's some reference, I don't know what it's referring to. I think it's a comedian. There's some Japanese comedian that it's referencing. And there's other sounds when you're not in demonized mode. When you are in demonized mode, it's actually mostly laughing. Maniacal laughter. Anyway. I believe I was twice pinged to stand by the trap, only to have the team not commit to the fucking trap. You know, make up your minds, please. I don't want to be repetitive with the voicing of my grievances here, because I seem to always complain every time a trap is placed. But like, don't ping me to stand by the trap and then not stand by the trap yourselves. That's a good way to piss me right off. Oh god. When he does that forward walk, I actually anticipate a tail swing, not a fucking hip check. Alright, he's getting in it. Well, he should have been getting in it, but apparently some people struggle to actually line up with traps around here. God. I'm about to lose it. And just completely abandon this fucking trap. I'm that fucking close. Alright, walk straight in it. Do it. That's no problem for you, is it? Ma dolce. Ow. And yes, when you do take a hit, by the way, whether your weapons are sheathed or not, unsheathed or not, you will make noises. Which is kind of cool. And it's a different sound, I believe, between being hit by a teammate and being hit by a monster. But yeah, they just so happen to be, in my opinion, the ideal water dual blades of the game, so... yeah. They're kind of... they would fit the description or the classification of a joke weapon, but they're also pretty good, so... yeah, I'm happy with that. I've already consumed one power juice. You can see that I'm struggling with my stamina, because I'm trying to evade and also do other things. Let's use a mega juice. Juice that is big and strong and effective. Ow. That's the highest you've seen my stamina by. How dare you? My character is laughing at your joke, P-Barry. Yeah, I shouldn't have been overzealous. Oh no, I was just rewarded for my zealous play. Ow. And I made a comedic noise when I got sat on by the monster. Ow. That was not at all damaging. That was a fire fart that was actually rather benign. A friendly fire fart. Triple F. Alright. What? Have I lost that much sharpness? Oh my god. Wow, I was not paying attention to my sharpness at all. I actually dropped below green. Good god, that's actually shocking that I allowed that to happen. I don't think I've ever allowed that to happen in the history of me having played G-Rank in Freedom Unite. To allow a G-Rank weapon to drop below green sharpness, I must have been totally distracted. Oh, I can see that Weak is trying to blow up that rock. I think he's going to hurt himself in the process. Let's find out what's going to happen. Has he given up? No, he's not given up. He's determined to break this rock. Let's see him do it. Come on. Oh. Wished that he were actually standing there. Are we capturing him or no? It doesn't look like we are. I'm fine with that. Oh, we are. Okay. Whatever floats your boat. That was quite funny. I was expecting to watch him get blown away. We'll just allow my character to continue screaming repetitively. It is interesting though that even with the weapons sheathed, they still cause my character to make noises. I just ducked his shots. I'll do it again. Go on, shoot me. They are actually saying things in Japanese. Just stupid things. Alright. Gold shield, what the fuck's that for? I received gold shield, that must have been for crowns? Or did I get a crown? Or don't think so. Gold shield, what the fuck is that? Excuse my guild card, it's got not many awards because I don't try to get them, okay? Gold shield, here we go. All Gathering Hall G level 3 star quests, that is embarrassing. Obviously I completed all quests in G rank back in my older version of this save, but I've been very lazy with that this time around. I've been very focused on building weapons and armor. I don't have time to clean up the details like quests completed, so that's the situation. Anyway, that is the last hunt of this recording. Been live for 2 hours and 40 minutes. That should cover the lack of the removal of the first quest from the VOD. I do thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time I'm recording Monster Hunter or anything else you'd like to watch, and I shall bid you all farewell for now. Bye bye.